So back with the Documation and trying to fix my blower, and we took it out and figured out that it was worse than we thought. So it's missing a few screws, and so the whole thing was loose to start with. It had been obviously repaired and not too well repaired, and this was completely off. And unfortunately it's not this, it's the motor shaft that's completely bent. So my guess is that this has been repaired, and during the repair the whole unit fell. You can see that that took a beating. This is all bent. That is cracked right over here, which is probably why also my elbow went out. So this whole unit must have fallen and has not been repaired correctly, and that's what the problem is. So just for kicks, I pulled the rotor of the engine out of the engine, and here it is. And it's kind of lucked out. The reason it bent, it has a higher diameter inside shaft than the outside, which is why it was able to bend it without getting the motor all bent inside. So I just hooked it like this and pulled on it real hard, and now it's a lot straighter. It was completely canted before, now it's almost straight. I need to pull a little bit more. Maybe that will repair it. Well, I'd say the operation was successful. It's almost perfect. Not, still get a little bit of vibration, but very little. Let's see. I would say not perfect, but pretty acceptable. I think that will work. I decided I was going to repair the elbow and try a rubber toughened cyanoacrylate. Nice and black, so the repair won't be very visible. Here we go. There. And I was going to repair my hairline crack here just the same. Going to look not as beautiful because it's black, but I suspect it's going to be equally efficient. It looks like I progressed and regressed at the same time. The blower worked for a second, then I had a big spark, and it tripped my house circuit breaker. And so I'm trying to figure out where the short is in that machine. And actually the fuse didn't blow. It was a wrong fuse. It was a 4 amp instead of a 1 amp. But here there are two circuits. One that leads to this transformer E here for the electronics. That's generate the 5 volts eventually. And there's apparently a 24 volt transformer that generates voltage for the solenoid over there, which picks the card. It was a little driver, and so I think I've isolated the problem to this unit. The 24 volts is the one that causes everything to trip. So maybe the capacitor is bad. I'll check that next. I pulled a big capacitor out that was doing the 24 volt regulation, and let's see. I tested at 100 Hertz and at 6.5. 6.2 millifarads and 6.5, and ESR 0.5 0.05 ohms. So that looks like a good capacitor to me. So that's not a problem. What else can it be? That diode bridge looks a little loose. And I tested the diode bridge and it's good too. So, rats, what can it be? The transformer? Transformer short. Okay, ready? That's about it. 1, 2, 3. Alright, so it's not the transformer. Something else I noticed that I don't think is right, and it's not going to pick cars correctly until I correct it. This is the vacuum pickup plate. It sucks the cars in and then pushes it toward the roller so it gets picked, and it's sticking. It should be free. You can actually actuate it from the back over here. And that's not right. It shouldn't. It's gripping onto something. I think it's the bottom plate. So I think I need to adjust the bottom plate. And so now it should be the right distance. Let's see. Yeah, that works. And that moves without any problem. Okay, one thing repaired. Okay, so I remounted the whole thing and it didn't trip anything anymore, so I don't know what happened. If there was some bad contact somewhere. Then I temporarily disconnected the blower motor so I can get onto trying to figure out where the sound comes from. It comes, it goes, so I oiled it a little bit. And now if I press start, I have some picking action here, so I think if I put the blower on, that might work. So let's see, I have a few cars over here. I put the blower connection back on, put it on local, manual, see. Did what? Fed one car, there's a little bit of oil everywhere. Okay, well that's better than 0 cards. Another one. Oh, the motor stops automatically, so that's good. Once. So, well, that's progress, but some logic problem here. Well, you pick the first cards and then doesn't give another pick signal after there's no errors. So I guess next step is the electronics. The mechanics appears to be in much better shape now.